I have a couple of things that I want to say before I get into my stuff today. And I gotta put my glove on, so this is gonna be not as smooth. Oy vey. Alright. Sunlight, pretty. I wanted to say that a couple days ago I took a walk out here that was like hour and 45 minutes long, and I did no thinking. It was definitely like a meditative walk. So I don't do this like processing stuff every time I walk. I just wanted some pure exercise in the out of doors and to be surrounded by beauty the other day. And I ended up, like, about the 45-minute mark, I ended up realizing that I was in like one of those spaces, just feeling my steps and being in nature, that it was, you know, I was in one of those deep meditative states that I was just, there was nothing, absolutely clear mind. The other thing is that we got this beautiful fresh coating of snow yesterday, right over top of ice. And so I have my ice cleats on, and I like these videos because I don't edit them. So the bobble at the beginning just now, me putting my gloves on, yeah, that's gonna stay there. And I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do if I fall, if I'll try to go back and take it out or not. So that's a thing. If I fall, just enjoy. Okay, my thought going into today's walk is about my, I just listened to Brene Brown's podcast with, Cynic. I've forgotten his first name already. S-I-N-E-K is his last name. And they're talking about your why, your mission statement, your purpose. You should have one for yourself, and then if you're an entrepreneur, that's basically the purpose for your business. And I was thinking about how true that is for me. My business is the exact same as my purpose in life. But I was trying to think of wording for it. So I thought that would be an interesting thing for my intention for today's walk. So, I've condensed what my professional stuff is to helping women, but really anybody who feels burnt out or trapped by meeting all the expectations to trust their true nature, and so that they can know the freedom of walking their own path in life. And so that is true. Like, I spent a while working on that, and the key words in there are nature and freedom. And you know, true nature, the freedom to do your own thing, questioning everything that you've been taught, like, those are the things. I want freedom for myself. I want freedom for everybody else. And it's kind of like a overall freedom. It's the freedom to choose to be what everybody expects of you, or the freedom to be yourself and buck all the norms and trends and requests. Like, it's just across the board. It's kind of like freedom to blank and fill in the blank. So let's see. So my why, my purpose, my mission is to bring freedom, to be freedom, to suggest freedom to myself. You know, if I'm going to do a personal mission statement, it's to be free, but to bring it to other people, to suggest it to other people. And my roots go so deeply and organically and like unquestioningly to nature, outdoors, animals, science. That's where I reach to for my learning, my teaching, my metaphors, my understanding of everything. And we're gonna voyage over off the path here because I remember it being slippery last time. So I bring freedom, and I most need freedom. That's the thing. Like any of your purpose, like it's the thing you need most to self, and it's the thing that you give. So I give freedom, and the method through which I do that tends towards science and nature and animals. I've always, I think I said this in a previous video, I've always deeply admired the people that I consider naturalists, who can go out into the woods and name everything. Like they know stuff about everything. And I don't feel like I can claim that. I know a little tiny bit about trees, and a tinier bit about like the plants around. And I'm learning some about the subsurface and the fungal connections and the microbial connections, and some of those things are the same thing. And it's all of it is truly exciting. The plants, the trees, the soil. And I've always just been drawn to animals. I'm a birder. Devout also mentioned this in another video, is I go back and forth between just purely enjoying the birds and cataloging every single damn one and their calls and when and where and all the things. But I always enjoy them regardless of which method I'm using. The mammals, you don't see as many of them in the woods because they're much more, well, there's fewer of them, but there's also, they're far more elusive. Birds can get out of the way much more easily than a mammal can, and so they hide faster, stay away from us much more. But I guess that's probably why I got into zoos initially and then farms, is animals are always, anything in nature, anything, is always and forever only going to be themselves. I have a neurotic dog who will always only be himself, and I adore him for it, to my partner's endless exasperation. But watching the cows, realizing that they really are towards that megafauna, the ponderous movement, you need to work at their pace. Asking them to work at our frantic pace is just gonna drive them crazy. And let's see what else. I have taken a course, a weekend course in bird language, which is basically understanding the forest through the animals, basically, and especially the birds, because those are what we see the most. And it's not just the forest, obviously, it's anywhere. I don't know, this is all stuff that's so deeply ingrained and fascinating to me that is where I turn. And I turn into not just Mother Nature, like the outside nature, but also to human nature. Okay, so what am I learning about these animals that I can turn towards myself? One path that I'm going to go down when I can is learning a ton more on how to practice. It's called somatic experiencing. It's trauma healing through our animal, basically. And it's incredibly exciting to me, and something that I just feel so deeply that I need and I want to give. Like, I feel that is an excellent path for me to get and give freedom to people, is to help their bodies release trauma and the patterns and responses that come with that. So Mother Nature, human nature, animal nature, just all of the natures. And so it's not just being in the woods for me. We have a human nature and animal nature when we're in the middle of a damn city. This is we are animals, and human nature is our animal nature. We like to pretend we're not, but we are. There's constantly research. You know, we say that we're above the animals because they don't do this. And then there's yet another study that shows that animals do this. And it's not just the great apes. It's, you know, a crow or a porcupine. It's like, we are not so special. I love our brains. I love my brain. I love being able to think things through. I also know that it's easy to overthink and get so caught up in what I'm thinking that I stop remembering that it might not be true. I love reason and metaphor, and going down a metaphor, I can make it work, but that doesn't mean it's right. By any means, it does not mean it's right or real. I'm looking at some tracks right now that are interesting to me. The snow is super powdery, and so I can't really tell for sure. There's some tracks here that look like they are, I'm gonna, maybe fox? I'm suspecting fox, but these look like they could be a weasel, a mustelid. But because the snow is so powdery, I can't, like, I think that there's 5 fingers and claws on these, but I'm not really sure. I think so. It's funny. They're overlapping. Dude, it could be a porcupine. That's so fun. Alright, so that's where I imagine some people would think I'm a naturalist, and I do not feel worthy of that. I know a little bit about several things, a lot about some very small things, and almost nothing about a bunch of things that I would love to know. But That's where I am. So, intention to, I was thinking about what my why is. My why is to bring freedom to myself and others through questioning assumptions and non-judgment and no pressure and just kind of full compassion and through nature. That's me. And that's what I bring to the world. And so my business, my practice is doing that. And I'll probably find several ways to do that, but that's what I do. So I do these walks, and I think on something while my brain goes in a gazillion different directions and uses whatever I'm seeing, feeling, thinking, sensing, and then I'm done. Like, I stop, I come to a resolution that works for me, and then I'm done. And that's the important part. I don't keep going on it. Like, sometimes I'll do these videos and I'll think afterwards about some things I could have added, but for the most part I just, like, I get to this lake or whatever and I just stop, and right now I'm just listening to the ice talking. If you've never been in a cold climate around lakes and ponds, it's just the coolest thing. It's creepy, it's so creepy, but it's awesome to listen to the ice settling and cracking and moving. Talk to you later.